Yeah. OG. Where's the OG number? I can never find it. Why can't I never find OG? Yo, Mike, what up, man? I can never find OG. There you go. Let the OG on for this pregame. Cause I ain't gonna get live again until 12. Mike, what it do, man? I want to do a little quick pregame. Where is everyone? It's early, Mike, so watching Justin Fields play is insufferable. It's early, Mike. People probably still in the bed, and I don't really care. I just wanted to get my pregame thoughts off, but I sent the link out. But if they don't catch the pregame, they'll be there for the game live stream, which I'm going to start. I think like 11:50. I'm going to start the game live stream. But I wanted Marty Smith is inactive for today's game. It's so stupid to have him on this fucking team. Oh, I said I'm gonna cuss. I gotta stop cursing. Makes no sense to have this dude on this team, man. Makes no sense. We really need another LB. Kenny Murray, Jackson Brown. And then I saw Kenny Murray talking about, oh, it's gonna feel good to be back. Boy, you hot garbage. You suck, dude. Let's do it again. George, my dog. My dog George, what did it do, man? Alexander, what it do? Me more. What's up, bro? I ain't got nothing going, bro. Just want to come do a pregame live real quick. The Cowboys gonna lose today. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully the Cowboys win today. Yeah, for sure, Arizona, man. We hoping, we need to pull out a victory, man. We need to pull out a victory. We need a back-to-back win. We need to build some confidence, for the future. Get a head coach confidence in coaching. All that stuff matters, you know. So yeah, we need all the confidence in the world. We should win, but any given Sunday, exactly, man. Any given Sunday, man. That's Mimo. That's the truth. The player I'm watching for is Jadon Blue. He hasn't been good so far, but hopefully he will come around. I hope so too, Mike, because we need him. We got him right now, and we need him. We need him. Like I said, I'm just all about hoping to build confidence for the future. Build confidence in Shotty, and wins will help that. Victories will help that. It's gonna be growing pains, man, all season, man, because he's a new head coach, first time on the job training. You know, it's gonna be rough. Just because you had the title doesn't mean you're really good at it. You can have a professional title, but it's gonna take some time. Head coach doesn't automatically mean success in Super Bowls and winning records. It just means you carry the biggest burden and you got to know what to do with it. You got to know how to maintain it. That's all. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, man. So yeah, but I'm wishing Shotty success, man. I gave him a lot of crap early on, but he said Mike said I worry that we're not gonna use him correctly. Well, the only way to use him correctly is just run the dang on ball. Hopefully they do that. Like I said, I think Shotty they've been running Javante pretty decent and strong. Make him and Blue that 1-2 punch and shoot. You might have you something. You might have you something. Once you make him, Javante and Blue that 1-2, they might have something. So that's what we hoping for. We hoping for the best, man. I hope Shador gets a chance. Yeah, shout out to him. I think he might have been doomed from jump. I don't think they really like him, and that's unfortunate. Luckily, his father's already successful and rich, so pretty sure he got a couple business ventures going on. If this don't work with him, kid grew up rich. I think he'll be fine. I get he want to play football, but I think he'll be fine either way. I think Shador be just okay. You know, he's a rich man regardless, so I don't put too much stock in it. Salute to him though for getting that far. You know. Me, Muck said once again, just want to win some money. Otherwise, I won 100 last week. Hey, get that money, bro. Get that money. I ain't hating, dog. Get that money. Shit. Danny Savage, drop guru in the house.
What's up? How's my audio sound?
Oh, that's pretty clear. That's damn good.
Because on my side it said it wasn't working. Weird.
Shit. You clear that?
Not that it wasn't working. It's like if you flash it, like if you talk, it'll show, and it wasn't showing.
Nah, you good. You clear as hell, man.
Uh,
How your weekend been?
Same shit. We're getting bashed with nor'easter, so we're getting like 5 inches of rain between today and tomorrow. But just
Damn.
watching a lot of football.
Yeah, me too. I watched football. I watched college ball all yesterday.
Same here. Same here.
So let me ask you something. What? I've never really looked into it. I'm not too familiar with the Herschel Walker trade. Break that down. What happened?
Well, we were going 1-15 that season, and basically we needed to get good quick. But let me go back a second. As
Okay.
crazy as this sounds, and this is where coaching comes into play, the Herschel Walker trade brought about 50% of the tools to the
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys. But 50% of those players were already on the team when Jerry Jones bought the team. So when Jerry Jones bought the team and Jimmy Johnson, their rookie year, Michael Irvin was already on there. Tom Landry drafted Michael Irvin, but Michael Irvin either blew out his knee or broke his leg his rookie year. He only played a few seasons. So Herschel was on that team. Jim Jeffcoat was on that team. Ken Norton was on that team.
Okay.
Mark Tuinei was on that team. Kevin Gogan was on that team. Nate Newton was on that team. You know,
Mm.
so there was three monsters right there. So basically, they came in, they went like 1-15 that first year, and maybe October of that year, they were like, yo, this is the only guy we got good. So they traded him to Minnesota. The way the trade was structured, it was picks and players. We also gave them, we had a linebacker that didn't, he was like a Jalen Smith. His name was Eugene Lockhart. He would make a million tackles if they were all downfield. And
Yeah.
basically, Michael Irvin, he gave Jimmy a list his first season and said, all these guys got to go because they don't care about winning. And Eugene Lockhart was one of them. I'll bet money. But long story short, we gave them Herschel Walker, Eugene Lockhart, and we got picks and players, like 4 players that weren't really any good, but yet the trade was structured. If we cut those players turn into draft picks. So then basically the following year, we had another one. We traded it for Steve Walsh out of Miami, another quarterback. We drafted Diamond Woodson. We drafted Emmitt Smith. We drafted Leon Lett. We drafted Eric Williams. We drafted Mark Stepnoski. We even drafted Hall of Fame All-Pro guard Steve Wisniewski. And then we traded him to the Raiders because the Raiders drafted Darryl Johnston. A lot of people don't know that. So it worked out. Darryl Johnston should be in the Hall of Fame as a fullback, and hopefully one day he is. But it was an even trade. Like, because Raiders were picking behind us, and they knew Wisniewski was not going to last for them. So we picked up Stephen Newsom from Penn State, and then they drafted Darryl Johnston out of Syracuse, and we flip flopped players. But then the following year, we got Alvin Harper, and we just built pieces. Kevin Smith and Vincent Smith, Robert Jones. Robert Jones was the second round draft pick out of Eastern Carolina, linebacker. Yet he was the first linebacker taken in that draft. And the second pick was this kid Mark D'Onofrio out of Penn State, who went to Green Bay, barely played. He had a bad shoulder. He's from my area, that kid. And he's been a college coach for the last 35 years, probably. He turned into a coach. And basically, so we built up all those players. We got all those players from the draft, but we went out and we signed Jay Novacek. He was a free agent, but we signed also free agent Tony Casillas. He was a free agent. Got Russell Maryland, picked number 1. We also picked up, there was a wide receiver, man, who turned out to be a bust, where we could have had Cortez Kennedy, man. That would have been crazy, man. But basically, it just shows you how much coaching affects. Half of those dudes are playing like garbage. We drafted also Mark Stepnoski out of Pitt, who was a guard at Pitt, but we switched him over to center. And then it just took us a while to figure out the O-line. They had Nate Newton playing right tackle. They tried Eric Williams at left tackle. He got smoked as a rookie. Then they finally, they made the transition to Tui. Tui made the team as an undrafted free agent defensive tackle he went to UCLA first, got tossed for fighting, and then Hawaii. And then he was on Dallas for 5 years as a defensive tackle. And they just said, yo, you're going to play left tackle. If that story happened now, he's a Hall of Famer first ballot. Then Nate Newton was old already. Nate Newton started his first couple of years in the USFL, and I didn't
know that.
Yeah, Nate was in the USFL, man.
Wow.
He started with the Redskins, got cut, went to the USFL because of his weight. They called him the Kitchen because he had William the Refrigerator Perry. And they gave him the Kitchen, and John Madden fell in love with him. Then they finally left him at left guard because as big as he was, he had crazy quick feet. Stepnoski slid into center, and then basically they were going with Gogan, and then we made a trade for, he played for the Raiders, man. I'm trying to think. He was a silent assassin. We only had him for like 2-3 years, man. It's pissing me off now. It's going to come to me in a second. Can't think of his name. He slid at right guard, but then he also slid to center when Stepnoski got hurt. So we were going with him and Kevin Gogan, who was a monster at right guard. Or we were also, when we were healthy, we were bringing in Kevin Gogan to play tight end and just mashing people. And then, like I said, basically on offense, we got Harper and Emmett with those picks. And you can say Stepnoski, and then on defense, we got Woodson, we got Maryland, Tony Tolbert. We drafted Tolbert. I mean, the defense, listen, a lot of unsung heroes. I mean, I know the heroes was the O-line, but we traded for Charles Haley. We had 10 legit, I'm not lying, on defense. There was 10 dudes that could have started for any team in the NFL. We had 10 killers, man. At edge, we had Charles Haley. We had Tony Tolbert. We had Daniel Stubbs. And Jeff Coat. Those were our 4 defensive ends. At D tackle, we had Russell Maryland, we had Leon Lett, we had Jimmy Jones, we had Tony Casillas, Chad Hennings. Yo, and I'm sure I'm missing somebody. We had that D line was straight killers. Linebacker, you had Ken Norton. We had Darren Smith. You know, Jimmy went after his Miami players, a lot of his Miami players. Vincent Smith was already on the team. We had Kevin Smith went out. We had he drafted crazy Larry Brown was like a 12th round draft pick, man. Leon Lett was a crazy draft pick at Emporia State. It was, but that's why I tell people it's not so much about the picks, it's what you do with the picks. About 20 years ago, the Jets had 4 first rounders. So in one draft, if you're a good drafter, you could have rebuilt your team in that one draft. Out of those 4 dudes, 2 were busts, and the 2 best players were Chad Pennington, who was and a defensive end, man. So it's all about what you do. But they definitely. But yo, Herschel was a freak, though, man. We traded Herschel to Minnesota. He was only there for like 2 years. They got rid of him. He went to the Giants, and he bounced back he even came back with us. He came back to Dallas. He was in his 40s running back punts for touchdowns, man. He was in his 50s in the UFC beating the shit out of people. And yet he never touched a weight in his life. He did ballet and 1,000 push-ups a day. Herschel Walker was a straight freak, man. You're never going to see another one of those guys. He was just a straight freak.
So were you one of the people when it happened? Were you like, what the hell are you doing, Jerry? Were you
At first, I said yes. I was young in my life. I was like, this doesn't make sense. But it does when you take a step back and look at it. We were 1-15 that year. Ironically, the only team we beat was the Super Bowl champion Washington Redskins. And then we just little by little we acquired people, and they got that O-line right.
That trade helped us become who we were.
Yes, it did.
Absolutely, it gave us 50% of the players because
Damn.
the other 50 were already on the team.
Right. Okay.
And that's where coaching comes into a huge effect. People don't realize that. People think we just went out and got everybody. 50% of those cats were on the team. It's what you do with them. It's how you coach them. What's up, Sam?
What's up, y'all? What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
When you heard about the Herschel Walker trade, what was your first thought, champ?
Well, at first, okay, I got to go back 1 year, 1988.
Take it back.
1988. When the Cowboys was like 3-13, I think I was my junior year, even my junior year of high school. And I was like, Tom Landry got to go. I mean, during the 80s, it was bad, and Tom Landry had passed his time. So, but the news was when Von Bryant sold the Cowboys to Jerry Jones, and then he hired Jimmy Johnson, and then later on, I guess Jimmy saw a lot of the players. Because you had people like Ed Too Tall Jones, Randy White, all the older players from the 80s. They are retired because they didn't want to deal with. They was pro Tom Landry, so no, they were like, "Nah, we done with this." So I think Jimmy Johnson hit like his first year after he got Troy Aikman. But once they, like I said, like what Sarah said, when they went 1-15, boom, he like, nope, we gotta do something different. That's when they got rid of Herschel Walker, and you acquire all those trades, man. Yeah. And I was like, wow, this is interesting. But at first I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. But that second year, he went 7-9. And then the third year, 11-5, and we were just one piece away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, like what Sarah said, it was coaching that mattered.
It was tough to notice the first year. It was just you had so much. Like they fired, new owners. They firing a legend, Tom Landry. But and then you're seeing Ed Too Tall Jones. You said, they went to training camp. Randy White went to training camp for like 4 days, 3 days. And he goes to Jimmy. He's like, listen, man, I think you're going to do great here. But he's like, I'm done. And Randy, they were just older and retired, man. And Bill Bates, he was already on the team already. And it just took time to acquire those picks. We hit on those picks. The only picks we really didn't hit on was an Alvin Wright, who was a wide receiver with crazy feet, where we could have had Cortez Kennedy, but we traded, and then we really didn't hit on Steve Walsh, but yet we traded him and got ones for him, so it equals out.
And what people realize on the offensive line, Kevin Gogan, Nate Newton, 2 and 8, they was already here.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So Nate Newton, they used to call him the refrigerator or the kitchen.
Oh, the kitchen, yeah, John
Yeah,
Madden.
they call it the kitchen because he used to be with the Redskins, and the Cowboys had picked him up from free agency.
Yeah,
and he stuck him, Gogan, 2 and 8. But then when they drafted Stepnoski and Eric Williams, and then later on Larry Allen, yeah, man, that was. It really, people think that automatically you need to draft a first round player, but if you got the coaching for that can build up the player, it don't matter what round you draft a player. If that player got talent and got the heart and want to win, they will do it.
And the players were finally playing their correct positions. They were moving Gogan around. They were even moving Nate Newton around. They originally even tried Tui at center. It was crazy, man. Like Tui definitely wasn't a center, 2 and 8. But they had Nate playing right tackle. They had Eric Williams playing left tackle. So once they finally, what's Hudson Hawk, who's probably the best offensive line coach and should be in the Hall of Fame. I think he has 3 or 4 Hall of Famers in Canton. Once they figured out where to put everybody, and then, I think you got Emmett, you got Darryl Johnson. Let's be honest, Darryl Johnson was like a smaller version of a guard. Usually when I was a kid growing up, the smallest guard was the fullback. But because Johnson never really caught passes, he was just a battering ram. And Jimmy, in my opinion, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a Cowboy fan, but in my opinion, because I'm a U fan and I watched this in college.
At pregame.
Jimmy Johnson was the best head coach talent evaluator I ever seen, because he was even getting gems. I mean, 2 was probably Belichick, but he was grabbing guys that nobody even ever heard of before. And
so if we don't do the Herschel Walker trade, that's all Jerry, right?
Hell no, that was Jimmy.
That was Jimmy. Every move was Jimmy, because I did a video on this when we traded Micah. The last trade we won was when we traded for Charles Haley. We gave up, I think, a 2nd and a 5 or a 3 and a 5.
Okay.
That was the last trade we won. Every single trade after that, we lost. Basically, Jimmy was off the team, with 2-3 years after that.
So without that trade, are we Super Bowl champs 3 times in the 90s?
No.
No.
Because we can't accumulate all that.
Right.
We accumulated 50%. But
that's crazy, man. That one trade did all. That's crazy.
That's
Yep.
what pissed me off so much about the Michael Parsons trade. It's just like, let's be honest. We traded Micah for even though Clark is playing good, Father Time is undefeated. This is a wasted year. He's 30. He's going to be 31 next year. We traded Micah for a 30-year-old defensive tackle and 2 picks that I hope they're high, but I'm thinking that they're going to be between 20 and 32. Unless,
I don't think I'm not saying 32, more like between 20, like
Yeah.
21 and 25.
Yeah, but if Love gets an injury, yeah, we'll get lucky. But
Yeah.
point wise, because each draft pick has there's like a scale where each draft pick has a point scale. 1980 in the house.
He said,
What's up, Andy?
They could. Well, he actually took a shit in Steve Young's helmet. Because when
"Oh my god!"
when Bill Walsh left and Seifert took over the team, they cut Ronnie Lott at the Pro Bowl and they got rid of Joe Montana. Joe Montana went to Kansas City, and Charles Haley went ballistic. They also say he backhanded Seifert. He was, but I'm sorry. Every player, every team needs a Charles Haley.
Question. If that team was still that team, even when Jimmy left, shouldn't they should have won the Spies who the coach after Switzer? Because
94, we did go to the NFC Championship game, but we were injury. We had injuries. And we.
Because that particular game, Emmitt Smith was having hamstring problems. And that definitely hurt the Cowboys a lot on offense. Even though Aikman threw one of his best games, but Emmitt not being there, it left Cowboys one-dimensional on offense.
And we had a rookie, Larry Allen, with a high ankle sprain playing right tackle. Because that was the year Eric Williams crashed his car. So it was crazy talented, but we had those injuries. And also free agency that year, 94 is when free agency started nipping at that team. We no longer had Ken Norton. We no longer Stepnoski might have left in 94. He definitely wasn't there for 95. So then we go back in 95. We win the Super Bowl. We beat the Steelers. Yet the entire season, like Switzer, say what you want about him, but he did win a national championship. He did win a Super Bowl. Granted, he won it with Jerry's team, but a lot of the players loved him except Aikman, man. Aikman had to play like general because Switzer was just like he was. There was a book, Boys Will Be Boys. And they said when away games, Switzer would have 3 hotel rooms, one for him and his wife, one for him and his girlfriend, and one for him and whoever he met on that trip. He was fucking, I'm sure Switzer was in the White House. You know what I'm saying? So. And then we got out coached so bad, man. That's when Kevin Smith blew his Achilles first game of the season against the Giants. We went out and got Dion, and then Larry Brown gets elevated up. But if you watch the 1995 Super Bowl from start to finish, Bill Cowher outcoached Switzer crazy. And yet we still, Neil O'Donnell threw his 2 picks to Larry Brown. And then the next season, 1996 comes, we get knocked out the first round of the playoffs by an expansion.
Minnesota.
No, Carolina Panthers knocked us out.
I thought Minnesota.
I could be wrong. And then the next year, I believe we won the division and we got knocked out by a below 500 Arizona Cardinals. So basically at that point, like I said, 1994 is like kind of when free agency really, really started, and the
Hey,
salary.
Savage. Sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, you're right because the Cowboys beat Minnesota at home, and then they went to Carolina, and Carolina ended up beating Cowboys.
Yeah, mean mug, 1,000%. Yo, that game in 1994, Michael Irvin ripped Dion for like
Did
190
he?
yards. Ripped him. He had like 12 catches,
What?
12 catches for like 190. Then with
Ooh.
like 6 minutes left to go in the game, yo, he ripped him. Dion pass interference, mugged him like on the 2 yard line.
So,
How
so
many times you see in the NFL the ref throw the flag? They threw the flag. That's the worst part.
oh
They
shit.
threw the flag. In 1980, he always says they gave it to Dion because he looked back at the ball. But how many times do you see they throw the flag, huddle up, and then they say no penalty? Bro, that's a 3-point game, bro. We were down 21 points within the first 4 minutes of the game. We were down 21-0. And we still fought back, man. So
What's like Michael Irvin gave the Dion that game?
ripped it. And
God.
he's the only wide receiver I've ever seen rip apart Dion was Michael Irvin.
So, in your opinion, what was Michael Irvin specialty? Like he won a big jumper? What was it? Was he a route runner? What was it for Michael Irvin?
He was strong, man,
At the heart.
because so when you line him up against just a regular cornerback, Michael Irvin was so damn strong he could out most of that wide receiver. I mean that cornerback, and his specialty was that slant route because
Exactly. I was just going to go.
Aikman know that as soon because back then the Cowboys ran that time-based offense. As soon as Aikman throw that ball, the wide receiver would have to be there at that point. Michael Irvin's so good, he'll catch that ball, and sometimes if the quarterback miss a tackle, he gone.
Why Michael Irvin is my wide receiver one ever is because of who he had at number 2, or the lacks of who he had at number 2. But he only had Alvin Harper for 4 years. That's it.
Yeah.
So, but like he said, the slant. Michael Irvin's mindset was, I go over the middle or I go back to the poorhouse. I want, and this is him talking. These are his words, not mine. I want another mansion. I go over the middle. I want a new Ferrari. I go over the middle. How many of these star wide receivers? You ever see Calvin Johnson go over the middle?
Oh, no.
I love Randy Moss. I love Randy Moss. He didn't go over the middle. Randy Moss was a deep threat. And Michael Irvin, and that was when you could actually, like, DBs were allowed to mug the wide receivers. Today, Michael Irvin had heart, crazy. He had good size, fast. And Troy Aikman, for as much partying as Michael Irvin did, Troy Aikman says he never seen anyone practice as hard as Michael Irvin. He was
1980. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
I'm trying y'all to interrupt my nap, man. Y'all can't be doing that.
We had to do. I got a question for you, man. What was your initial first thoughts of the Herschel Walker trade? Like everybody else, like what the hell are y'all doing?
Oh yeah, nobody knew what was going on, and I at the time when it happened, nobody knew. I don't care how much somebody say, oh well, we knew it. No, we didn't know what they were doing, why they were doing it. That was our best player. Herschel Walker was our best player on that team, and Troy Aikman didn't even know. The players, they were like, what the hell is going on? Why are you getting rid of our best player? They had no idea. See, back then, coaches were coaches and players were players. Coaches did their business and players had no say-so. See, now you got these players like Dak Prescott, they got say-so and all that bullshit. See, back then, parents were parents and the kids, you stay in the child's place. That's how it was back then. And that's how it should be now. But money and all that bullshit, gives players power and all that stuff. But nobody knew what was going on. My dad was upset. We didn't know until we started getting those draft picks and those young guys and Emmett and everybody. And then it started. And it took a little bit to get to where they needed to be. But that was all Jimmy. And like I say, it was for the good back then. Now is they don't know what the hell they're doing. So it's just, but that was my initial reaction. And that was my parents' initial reaction, and whoever else was around then, that was their initial reaction. Was like, whoa, what are y'all doing? Why are you trading away our best guy? Herschel Walker was a good talent. He was a talented guy. He's probably one of the most talented guys to come out of college football at that time. You know, he was almost like a Bo Jackson type. Not as fast, but you know, he was very athletic. You know, do 1,000 fucking push-ups. You know, he was an athletic guy. And he just had a problem fumbling the damn ball. He fumbled a lot, but he was one of the best running backs in the game back then.
And he started out in the USFL also.
Yeah.
80. So why the hell everybody talk about, oh, I knew about the trade? Everybody acting like they claim they knew.
Nah.
Talk about Jimmy Johnson called him and told him before he did it.
Nah, they didn't know. They had the same reaction. They just want to say they know to make it sound like they know what they're talking about. You know, everybody want to be right. You know, you had dumbasses back then too. You had a few of them. But nobody knew what was going on. That's why they were so shocked by it.
Jimmy did have a feeling he was going to Dallas because when Irvin was at Miami, he told him, he goes, listen, I got a friend. He's an oil man. He might be trying to buy the Dallas Cowboys. And if he does, then I'm gonna show up there.
80. The Michael Irvin Deion pass interference. What's your thoughts on
it? Like I've said before, a lot of people are gonna have different views about it. But the passing, you got to understand the era and the time and the timing of things. The defensive pass interference rule, the rules back then, period, were different. We all know that. I think we can all agree to that. It was a lot tougher game, a lot more physicality, you know, a lot more physical. Back then, that wasn't the only thing that saved it being called. That Deion looked back, because when you look back, like I've said before, when you look back as a cornerback, when you got to know how to play the refs. It was pass interference, but what saved him was he looked back, because any type of contact, if you look back as a cornerback, is not intentional. Like I've said before, I've demonstrated before, if I walk towards you and I'm looking at you and I run into you, that's on purpose. If I walk towards you and I'm looking the other way, and I'm like, oh shit, my bad, dog. I didn't see you right there. That's not intentional. So Deion, he shouldn't have put his arm. I believe that it was pass interference to a certain extent, because Michael Irvin reached out to catch the ball and Deion kind of put his arm back, but he also looked back too. And I think that's what the refs were looking at. And the flag that they threw was for a whole nother call. It wasn't even for that pass interference.
Oh, really?
That should have been called. But see, the rules were so different back then. I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying why they didn't throw the flag towards that Deion Michael Irvin pass. That's why, because the rules were different and Deion Sanders looked back. That's what saved him.
That penalty that was called, it was on Barry Switzer, because Barry Switzer bumped into the referees.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah.
And he got an unsportsmanlike penalty, cost Cowboys 15 yards.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I remember that game like it was yesterday.
It was a tough game to watch. It was 21-0 within the first 4 minutes of the game.
Yes, sure was. Matter of fact, what was that cornerback name? Eric Davis. He ran back the interception from first quarter.
The one, he had a long neck. Merton Hanks, I think.
Merton Hanks
for San Fran. He had an interception. I think Irvin fumbled a play, and then
Irvin fumbled. I think it was Eric Davis that Irvin caught the ball. It was a slant. He caught the ball, and then Eric Davis just swatted it out, and Irvin just wasn't. He didn't get a chance to tuck that ball. But the Cowboys, it was kind of, I compare it. The '94 Cowboys were like Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas. Mike Tyson was unstoppable. There was nobody that could beat Mike Tyson in those 80s, early 90s. Nobody could touch Mike Tyson. When he had his old trainers, he was a dog. There was nobody on this planet that can touch Mike Tyson in the boxing ring. But when he fought Buster Douglas, all the money came in. He had a different entourage. He had a different trainer, different coaches and shit. Mike Tyson won that fight. Because when Buster Douglas went down that first time, they counted to 11 and won that fight.
Yeah.
But see, Tyson was off track.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a different coach. And that dog wasn't in him no more at that time. I compare that to the Cowboys. Yeah, Barry Switzer was a great college coach, but he was very hands-off. Yes. That dog that the Dallas Cowboys had before when Jimmy Johnson was there was gone. So that's why they still could have won that game against the 49ers in 94. They still could have won it, but that dog had allowed them to get down 21 points in the first half.
And we would have killed the Chargers in that Super Bowl.
So that's why I said in the comment section that Barry Switzer ain't Jimmy Johnson. If Jimmy Johnson would have been there, oh my God, Dion or not, we would have ran right through them cats, bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm trying to understand is, if that talent is still there, why did Barry Switzer matter so much?
Coaching, man. Coaching goes a long way too. You got to have coaching, man. I've seen the Lakers with Karl Malone, Gary Payton, all those guys, and they didn't win that championship, man. So I just talent is good, but you got to have that discipline in there, man. Because you got all these guys now that you got a substitute teacher in the classroom. You got all these smart kids, but the substitute teachers in the classroom now, they ain't gonna do no work.
Mm-hmm.
There is parenting, is coaching, all that shit wrapped in one. You when your parents walk in that room, your kid's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But if the substitute, you get what I'm saying? It's just that's what it was all about. And Michael Irvin, all of them, they started getting out of control, and everybody. And Troy Aikman was trying to, So I used to be on the sideline. Troy Aikman walking up and down the line, pissed off. So I say, somebody need to get what the hell? We making mistakes and ain't nobody getting on nobody. That's when it started. And Jerry Jones, his philosophy started kind of kicking in. He started coming down to the sideline more. He started writing and drawing up plays on the fucking napkin and all that shit. Remember I told you about that? I ain't never told nobody that. That's what he used to do. And man, nobody, he the boss. So you can't say nothing. Jimmy Johnson didn't play that shit, man. That's why he gone. That's why he was gone, because Jimmy Johnson kept it. I'm the coach. You sign the checks, man. That's where you belong. You belong up there. I got this, bro. This is my classroom. I don't need the principal coming in here and sitting in here like that. Hell, my wife, she even get upset when the principal's start coming to sit in her classroom. Okay, yeah, you can go now. I got this.
There was a training practice where everybody was out the night before. It was maybe 10, 15 minutes into the practice. It's a complete clusterfuck. And Aikman flips out. And Barry Switzer goes, what do you want me to do? Cut Michael Irvin? And he goes, no, but you cut that guy, you cut that guy, and you cut that guy, and you send a message. And Switzer's answer was, yo, guys, let's call it a day. And they ended practice. Yo, it's as crazy as it sounds. Even in the drafting prospect, when you're bringing in players, sometimes if you're great, you're talented, you can get away with that. But teams won't draft a guy because he can go out, party to 6 a.m. Like a David Irvin, let's just say, roll out of bed and get 9 sacks. But a guy can go out, party to 7 a.m, show up game day, and be a star. But the problem is the 5, 6 guys he brings with him, they won't. They're going to play like dog shit. So sometimes, I'm still taking, I'm still taking a guy and just get rid of the other guys, but they even look into, it sucks we didn't draft Randy Moss, and it still makes me sick to this day. And I don't know if it's true or not, but they said when he went to Dallas, he was like, first words out of his mouth was, where's Michael? Where's Dion? But they still fucked up. They still should have drafted him.
I did not know that Larry Allen. I thought Larry Allen was there for all 3 of those Super Bowls. I did not know he came later.
Yeah, he came later.
Jimmy That
But
was
man, can you imagine if Eric Williams and Larry Allen
Oh my God! On
did that prime?
say, man.
Man, you know how bad that offensive line really could have been?
Oh
Okay,
my
okay.
God.
So before Larry Allen, who was our starting five on no line?
It was Eric Williams,
Edwin,
Giesick, Steph Semnoski,
Nate Newton,
Nate Newton, and
Nate.
Montour and Nate.
then
Mark two and
Goldman, and then we lost Stepnoski. Then we had Ron Stone came in.
Yeah.
How good was Tuanay, man? Was he good?
yeah.
Well, he was a defense. He was an undrafted defensive lineman who made.
Oh, that's what you was talking about.
Yeah, he was a defensive tackle for 5 years, and then they said, "Okay, go block for Troy Aikman for the next decade."
Yeah. And he became an all-pro.
That's why he's so passionate when
Yeah.
they talk about this new generation of being a great wall because of what.
Man.
It was like a wall out there. Yo, he was nasty, man. Nasty. They all were. Gogan was a straight goon. He was fighting everybody, Gogan. And
Who
Eric Williams.
Who all moved over? Did anybody go from guard to tackle or tackle to guard?
Everybody.
Larry Allen, he did. He did.
Was he good at spots?
Yeah. Larry Allen, you put him anywhere. It didn't matter. He had the strength and he was fast too. He was really fast.
Big Larry Allen was fast.
Man, he ran down.
It was a Monday night game.
Darian Connor.
He ran.
It was Monday night game against the Saints, and Cowboys had was it interception or fumble? Well, anyway, the linebacker he would run for a touchdown. Larry Allen caught it.
That's why like 3 years ago, everyone was showing that DK Metcalf interception where he caught the guy down. I'm like, you guys really don't know football. You should look up Larry Allen catching the guy down. In my opinion, the Larry Allen tackle was a lot more impressive than DK Metcalf.
He remember Larry Allen running down a turnover.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was mad at Zach Martin when he was mad he had to move out the tackle. Everybody else was like, he was mad about it. He a Hall of Fame, but I just didn't like how he responded to having to move out the tackle. I didn't like that.
And moved out the tackle for what, 3-4 games before he got hurt?
Yeah,
the wall was unchangeable until they really got everybody.
Yep.
Okay, so in y'all opinion, does anybody from Zach Martin line compare to the old line? Anybody?
Maybe Charlie Fredericks. That's probably the only one.
Anybody?
I would say close.
For real.
I'm sorry.
No, I was saying like for real. Like I know y'all old school. I really want to know, does anybody compare?
I would say the person that comes in my mind, that pops in my mind, that'll come close is if he stayed healthy. My God, if he stayed healthy, Tyron Smith is probably the only one that's close. And maybe Travis Frederick. Travis Frederick was he wasn't mean, but he was very fundamentally sound. He was very smart and had very fundamentals and strong at the same time. Those are only two that'll come close to the Great Wall of Dallas #1.
What about you, Champ?
Oh, I just said Frederick. Because Frederick was smart as shit.
Yeah.
And if he wasn't had that disease, he would definitely will fit back there. Also, Tyron Smith, if he wasn't having back problems, him too. Because he had a mean streak, but he was quiet with his.
Yeah.
Savage, what you think, Savage?
No, 1,000%. Just like 80 and Cowboys champ said, mean streak. Mean. They played with a defensive mentality on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Legitimately. That's why, to me, is Zach Martin a good guard? Yes. But I look at him as a technician. He was no goon. He wasn't driving anyone 5 yards downfield and taking them. No, they would go out there and literally look to hurt you, bro. It was, and like, that's why I say in my world, Emmett is not the best running back ever, because he wouldn't get. And this is not even my words. These are guys that did like documentaries on the Cowboys. They said the majority of Emmett's runs were boring. The fact was he wouldn't get touched for the first 15 yards. But Emmett is he a top 5, top 10 back of all time? Absolutely. But that offensive line was nasty. They played like, and Eric Williams, there was a game versus, it was 95. He took out this guy, John Jerkovich, defensive tackle. He hit him hit him in the knee. They had to take him off the field. He injured his knee. And then he's fighting with the minister, Reggie White. And they said, Darren Woodson said Reggie White was the most nicest guy you ever wanted to meet. Would pray for you, pray for your mother, give you a hug. He said he was the nicest man you ever wanted to meet. And Reggie White was trying to fight Eric Williams because Eric Williams was just jacking him up, man. And just, Eric Williams got Offensive Player of the Week for playing up against Reggie White one week. And he was putting Reggie White 5 yards back downfield and pancaking him, man.
And he put what's up the New York Giant
Strahan. He used to pick him up by the throat and just
what's his name? Strahan. Put him in a dress. He put that fool in a dress. Yeah. Strahan said he couldn't handle Eric Williams.
But now picture practice Charles Haley and Eric Williams going at it, man.
Oh, God.
I wish I could have seen it.
Man.
My sister said if Zach Martin would have told Jimmy Johnson, would have traded his ass.
I flipped out when Zach Martin said that. And I flipped out when he held out and we gave him more money. And people called me a hater. I'm like, no, look how young his team is. And he's a shell of him former self.
I can't I did a live stream and ripped him. You already you got this big contract you're gonna hold off. He knew he was finna retire and he wanted to get out. He knew it. He knew he was about to retire. When it's training, not even training camp, OTAs, and they put a mic in your face and you volunteer the word retirement, you gone, you checked out. You mentally checked out already.
Yeah.
That's why for 30 years this team haven't done you know what.
He said Emmitt Smith played with a broken shoulder because he had what year was that?
1990. Was it 92? No, 93.
That was 93.
He hurt his shoulder against the Giants.
Against New York Giants, and he still had like 100. What was it? 163.
And he had like 10 catches for like another 100. And we needed that game to win the division.
Make him like that.
Yeah. And it was a dog, man.
He dislocated his shoulder, and they constructed a pad. We thought, why they put him back? They didn't even need to put it. Well, I guess he just wanted to come back in. I mean, he was that kind of a warrior.
A lot of people don't think.
Remember that game was close. That game was real close.
We actually,
but nobody liked playing there back then. Nobody liked playing in the Meadowlands, and nobody liked playing at in Philadelphia because the turf, when it got cold, it was like cement. It was like cement, literally.
Yeah, I've been on that turf. It's
like, that AstroTurf, when it gets cold and rainy at the same time, that's cement, man. I remember that shit. Woo.
People having issues getting the game. Y'all got the game today?
No, it's prime time by me. That just shows you we've done shit. It's prime time.
A lot of
well, you know where I'm at. I'm gonna watch it on my channel.
One more question. I'm gonna end this live and I'll be back. And when one more question. This for the do y'all think that Javonte and Blue can be 1-2?
I think so.
Yeah,
they got to get Blue. This is a good game to do it too. Mm-hmm. They should have let Blue run the whole second half.
Yes,
last week. I think Blue has Devontae has a really good knack of finding holes and turning negatives into positives. Mm-hmm. And I think Blue has that Tony Pollard burst. That boom, open field. But you gotta get him in there. You gotta get him in there and let him get some reps. They need to go ahead and take control of this game early so they can do that. Get him more involved.
Did we have a 1-2 punch before Zeke and Pollard? Did we have a 1-2 punch before them two previously?
Yes, we did back in 2007.
Yeah. The
It was
Barbarian.
Ed Jones.
Yeah,
Jones was
Yeah.
RB1. Barbarian, he was the two coming up. He was the closer.
and he
Yeah,
was
Bob.
he was a
Yeah.
fourth round pick. Yet,
Yes.
Bill Parcells,
He was a
From the
fourth round.
University of Buffalo.
no, Minnesota. He went to Minnesota.
Oh, no, that's right.
Minnesota.
That's right. No, so that's right.
Because Parcells passed over Chris Johnson. Parcells passed over who's the cat? He played for the Rams. Big kid, big dude. I can't think of his name.
I don't remember.
He was a fourth round. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a late.
And
Damn.
Julio Jones was around too. I can't think of the kid. Parcells passed over a linebacker. He was a beast.
Oh.
I running back. I meant running back for the. He went to the Rams.
We had Julius Jones and Marion the Barbarian. Julius Jones was your speed back. He was your guy to get your yards. Marion the Barbarian, he was your third down, sometimes fourth down, and goal line back. I mean, you give him the ball. He was beast mode before Lynch. Yeah, he was beast mode before him. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Not one guy was going to bring him down. Not one guy. You need about two or three.
You never ran out of bounds. You never saw him in the game tapping his helmet. Oh, I got to come out. That's why I laugh at these guys, because I'm like, this isn't the game I grew up watching, bro.
It's tough.
Everybody's soft now.
Who the hell was behind Emmett then?
Derek Laxiter.
Derek Laxiter.
What was that fool had?
Sherman Williams. Sherman Williams.
Yeah. Thomas A.G. was also behind him.
Sherman Williams was pretty good. He was pretty. I like when he came in. I like when he backed Emmett. He really kind of took up the slack. Derek Laxiter was okay. There was that one guy that Jimmy cut though.
Richards from Pitt.
Yeah, he kept fumbling. Yeah, he kept fumbling that ball.
Sherman Williams.
Yeah.
You never saw Emmett tap his head, say, "Get me out of the game." You never saw Marion Bob and guys like that.
Our defensive tackles do it now.
It's a joke.
The DTs fucking do it, bro.
Bro, I know.
Charlene, I know. Charlene, I hate to even talk about it. It bothers me anytime I talk about it.
Too, man.
I hate to even talk about it.
Because if you see that Hard Knock season, he's in his condo playing the piano, and then have the issues that he had. That's why fuck the Cowboys. Fuck Jerry, man.
I hate it.
Fuck Jerry.
So are we look? I ain't trying to jump the gun, and we finna end this. But with the Parsons trade, can we pull off something with what we got? Like, I ain't saying it could be a Herschel Walker type thing, but
we didn't get enough. We didn't
get enough. But my opinion, I think they need to start doing some more shopping around. Start trading more people to get more third, fourth round, and fifth round picks.
Not the fifth. No fifth.
Me personally, I'm sorry, not today. I have a hard time. I just have a hard time thinking that those 2 ones and a 30-year-old defensive tackle was the highest offer. Sorry for interrupting.
What you think, 80?
Well, we won't know. I think right now, I don't think he was good enough to get any more.
Exactly.
If you think about it, but what is he doing? Look, check it out. I always bring up the stat, and I hate stats. I'm not a stat guy. I'm not saying that Michael Parsons is not a good, talented guy. He is, but at the position that he was playing with the Dallas Cowboys, which is an edge rusher or whatever, I don't think he was just that good to get anything better than what we got from him. He's not doing. We were what? We were ranked almost last in defense when we had him. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand the big. Oh man, y'all should have got rid of. Y'all shouldn't have. I'm like, well, I don't think we're losing that much. I mean, if we're going to do it, this is the best time to do it. In the rebuilding developmental process. I don't think he's not really doing too much for Green Bay. I mean, what's their record? I just like, but we won't know the other half. We won't know the other half until we draft. That's when we'll find out. Oh, okay. We draft good. We do something with those first round, then we good. But right now, it's just like I don't know.
It's no, like you said, like towards the end, I called him the Dak Prescott of the defense. He was a product of the Dallas hype machine and wasn't that good. And I'll still say that, but
Well, I said 3 years ago, trade his ass right after that Green Bay game.
I just wish Hawk was a little bit younger than a 30-year-old DT.
We don't do too well, and we don't do too well in Carolina. Off the subject, I'm just
We
gonna say that
don't.
before we go.
We don't.
It's something about being. That's the game that I remember. We went out. There was the season after. I think it was 17, and I thought we were gonna go up there and kill those dudes. Man, they whooped our behinds.
That's the what you call video. We ain't sitting no damn link. That's that video.
Yeah. My boy. I didn't know that was
Because remember everybody was saying we was gonna beat them, and you was like, pump your brakes. We don't know what Carolina gonna do.
Yeah.
And they kicked our ass, and they whooped us.
Yeah. What Chicago did to us, we can't overlook anyone, man. We made Caleb Williams look like he was playing, UCLA. Like we can't overlook nobody.
Nah.
Yo, Sam, did you get your StreamYard set up the right way? Oh, one question, Savage. What happened to James Franklin?
Oh no, he lost 3 games in a row. He lost to Oregon. He got blown out on the road versus UCLA, and then they got upset yesterday versus Northwestern. He's gone. He's
yeah.
In my opinion, Greg Schiano from Rutgers will be the new Penn State coach. That's just my 2 cents.
Oh, and by the way, y'all, we told y'all how we should have got that tight end. That boy is playing his ass off.
He has.
I told you should have got Warren.
That boy is playing.
He has almost 400 yards and a touchdown, and the touchdown he got was that quarterback doing.
Yep.
400 yards. 400 yards in one game.
Close. No, he has close. He has like 3.
Okay.
I saw him. He was a game changer. I'm sorry, he was.
Y'all was saying it. Y'all was saying it about that dude, man.
I remember when they drafted Tyler Booker. I was like, I understood the pick, but I hated it.
Rico Dollar said we better buckle up for him. Boy, shut the hell up.
Oh my God.
We better buckle up today. Boy, you had one good game, now you want to talk shit? You better shut your damn mouth.
Damn talk shit. Maybe that.
He played for Carolina?
Yeah, he played for Carolina, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Well, we'll see.
He said we better buckle up, but y'all in this live screen, y'all, and I'm gonna start my game live screen. Eshan, what up, brother? I never got send it to you. I put it in your text, but I never hit send. My bad. I'm finna start the new live stream anyway for the game. So
all right, brother. All right.
I'll see y'all at halftime.
All right.
All right.